Hello. How is everybody? Uh, it's been a bit. Um, my name's Amy. This is Mimi Stitchery. This is my FlossTube channel where I talk about my cross stitch, my knitting, my other crafty things. If you are new here, welcome aboard. It's a little bit of a crazy train sometimes. If you have followed along for a long time, my hair's just not cooperating today. Thank you. Thank you for supporting. Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate it. I want to send out a huge thank you to those that have supported me in my missions trip, either whether by um, funding or just praying, or I've had quite a few people reach out to me. I accept all the support, and so I thank you so much for that. Today is Thursday. I had a hair on my face. Thursday, August 13th. It is about 9:25 in the morning as I'm recording this. Let me get some things out of my way. And if you've been here for a while, you will understand that the scenery behind me is not the usual. And if you've been here following along with me, you know that I changed my location. I wouldn't say frequently, but regularly. My crafty space has, up until this point, for quite a while now, been in my basement. And honestly, I like natural light better. So my kids have moved out. We're empty nest. We had a whole summer, well, at least the month of July, with house guests here in various numbers and lengths of stay. And now the house is back to being just my hubby and I again. So I have his off. We have 3 bedrooms in the main floor of the house. We have a master, which obviously is ours because we pay the mortgage here. And then there's 2 other rooms that my 2 younger children lived in when we first moved here. My 2 older children had already empty nested out. But they have since empty nested out. The youngest is now 29 and married, and they are living on their own and living their best life. So one of those bedrooms was made into an office for my husband because he works from home a couple days a week. And I decided to take back this spare room into my crafty area to the point where there is a bed right there. I may move the bed to the basement bedroom and just make this my permanent area. So, yeah, things are ebbing and flowing. So I like this space much better, much more natural light here. I think better for recording. But yeah, it's been almost a month, I think, since I put up my last video. This is, I think it's season 8, episode 4, maybe. Let me look. I should have probably looked all this up before I got on here, but you know, if you've been here for a while, you know how I roll. And season 8, episode 4, and it has been, according to this, 3 weeks since my last video. So, but I've had, our daughter came in for a weekend for a wedding, and then the day after she left, our son came home from Hawaii for a couple of weeks, and probably 5 days after he came, my sister and brother-in-law came and stayed with us for about a week. So they've all been gone for, I don't know, I think our son left over a week ago now. And so I've just been cleaning up the house, getting things reordered. I have a cup of coffee. And in the process of cleaning out and hoeing out things, I decided to take the space back over. As you can see, there's still Star Wars stuff in here. That's memorabilia from my son. I don't think there's any others in your view at the moment. Ton up here on the wall. Yeah. So I like it much better. So you guys have to let me know if the lighting is better when I show you my projects or not. Again, I will most likely not be editing videos. I do not find joy in editing my videos. I know that many of you like before and after pictures. Yeah, we'll see what the day brings today if I edit and I can put the, I know I have them because of how I'm stitching now, but we'll see. So it may be edited, it may not. I have cross stitch to show you. I have 2 full coverage pieces and then I think 1, 2, 3, 4 other whips. No, 5, sorry. And then I have some knitting to show. I have a 1 finished object for knitting and then a progress to show on some other things and some new starts in knitting too. I don't think, oh, and when we get to knitting, I have a finished item that I will not be able to show you. And maybe what I will do, since I have before pictures, is actually show them to you here on the screen by my phone, from my phone. So let me see if I can find those and then we'll be good to go. Yeah, so welcome aboard. Get something to drink, get something to stitch on. And we'll start, I think I'm going to start with my full coverage pieces. If I can refine the before photo, I will. Not sure that I'm going to have one for this particular one. I'm not. So let's just show you what it's going to look like. I have to get my tablet out for that because I have these on Pattern Keeper. I have to tell you that without Pattern Keeper, I would not be stitching full coverage pieces. I don't stitch on them enough as it is, in my opinion. I am stitching on Bonded by the Rain. Artwork is by Leonid Afremov. It is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I am stitching this 2/110 on 25 count Lugana. And excuse all the threads, I am kind of a Parker. And I don't have this folded correctly. Hold on. And this is where I am right now. Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying getting back into full coverage. I was in a rhythm where I was doing full coverage for my first half hour of stitching in the morning, but since I'm sorting out the house now and getting ready for a big garage sale, that's usually what I work on first thing in the morning. And not stitching necessarily. So this stays out. This goes on the Q-snap and off the Q-snap, and I just continue to work on it. The second full coverage piece I have that I haven't worked on in a long time is called Mini Blu-ray. The artwork is by Leah Roche or Roche. Again, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I am stitching this on 28 count Lugana. I started this with Tiffany from Black Cat X Stitchery. Again, stitching it on 28 count Lugana, 2/110 stitch. I don't believe I have a before picture for this. Of course I could. Hold please while I take a look, scroll through. Doesn't look like I do. But here I started in the upper right corner. Not very big, right? Not a very big piece. It's a mini, but still a lot of stitches. Right now I've got this and Bonded by the Rain out is kind of my focus full coverage pieces. Hades, I should say. Yeah. But I mainly did all of these in here and filled in some ninja stitches up here. Not really much to see on that one yet. I will keep rotating through those, and yeah. I think the next one I worked on based on the pictures in my No, maybe it was Blueberry J. Let's do this one. Blueberry J by Jet X Stitch. Upside down. I'm not going to take this out of the plastic, sorry. I bought the paper pattern, but I actually have this in I bought the PDF and put it in Pattern Keeper. Hold please. I just want to make sure this is an emergency before I keep going. Anyway, I got let me pick up what I dropped down here. I picked up the PDF. I have it now in Pattern Keeper. I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count arpeggio from Grace Notes fabric. I'm hoping that's showing you the right way because it looks wrong to me. This is where I was before. Let me just show you the picture. No, that's what my after picture. I guess I don't have a before picture on this either. Wasn't good about that, huh? But here we go. I'm almost to the corner here. But I wanted to get down and work on the blueberries, so that's where I went. And I'm stitching this in all the called for flosses, including the 2 Threadworks flosses. But yeah, it's a nice palette. I like it. It's nice and bright. And it looks good on this fabric. So I'm quite happy with that. And sorry, I am going to kind of keep these neat enough so I can put things away when I'm done filming here. Because I have a new space now and I'd like to keep it cleaned up. What it has done for me is it's allowed me to get some sorting done in my craft stuff, which is always kind of good. The next week I worked on Halloween at Hawthorne Hollow. I am stitching this, I believe it's on Mojito 36 count by Grace Notes Fabrics. This has been a restart a couple of times for fabric choices. And finally I landed on this fabric and I'm so glad I did because I really like how it's turning out on here. And I'm pretty sure I do have a before picture on this one. Yep. So I'm on the first block. And this is the before picture. My goal was to finish that block during that stitching session. I did not complete my goal, but I came very close. There is more stitches than you think there. But here we go. So I finished the web, the bat, the spider, the ghosts, which you can hardly see on camera. I can see them much better in person. I finished the skeleton, worked on things in here, and there's a lot of filling in here as well. But I finished the house as well, the ghost over here. So I didn't get the block finished, so the next time this comes out, I will be working on the block to get that finished. The next cross-stitch project I worked on was Peacock Unicorn and Badger. I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count Pub Crawl by Vicki Clayton, which she has discontinued now. Now there was a post out on Facebook a while ago. She actually discontinued this quite a while ago because she says that the fabric's not color fast. I love it on this fabric, and I am not worried about whether it's color fast or not, only because A, I don't plan on washing it. And it's just the joy of stitching. I'm really enjoying stitching it on this fabric. So here is the before picture of where I was before. And here, hold on, is where I am now. So basically I finished the squirrel, finished this branch, this flower, and this upper border here. I'm trying to decide whether I'm stitching the dark one stitch border that goes around the whole piece, or I'm just going to leave it without it. So I haven't started that border yet. I'm not sure that I'm going to, but I got quite a ways. The next project I'm going to show to you is, I have a picture here because I pulled it out, Mushroom and Fern Mandala by Chatelaine. I am stitching this on a piece of 28 count mushroom Lugana. I have both the physical chart and the PDF. The PDF I have gotten loaded into Pattern Keeper. So it's useful there. It's not useful in Pattern Keeper for the specialty stitches or for the beads necessarily, but it is useful for the cross stitches. Oh, hold on, this goes with this. I don't want to lose this. And I do have a before picture for this as well. I'm sorry if you guys really like the edits and having the before and after next to each other, but I just cannot. I don't have the. Here's the before of my Mushroom and Fern Mandala before I stitched on it. So my goal lately with this has been getting these brown branches all the way around, all 4 quadrants done. And then I can go in and work on each section alone. I'm going to have to back up for this one. But yeah, I made some progress. I got that one branch all the way around and then started on the upper quadrant right there in that area. But yeah, this is where she is. I'm still enjoying her. If you've not been here for a while, I'm very much a process stitcher. And enjoy the act of stitching, not so much completion of things, if you get my meaning. And the project that I'm working on this week, so this won't be the last time that you see this, it is called Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street. I was trying to remember exactly what I'm stitching this on, so let me see if I can find the tag for the fabric. Oh, here we go. It's Forbidden Fiber Co. Granite, Edinburgh Linen in 36 count. I'm doing 2/2 full cross. And right now I am building the house. So I finished the windows up here. I put a door in. I started the brickwork. And I started the house windows here. My goal with this one is these windows are now completed. I would like to get the windows on the face of the house completed, the door completed, before I put it away this week. I'm basically giving 1 to 2 projects per week some attention, and usually if it's 2 projects, it's because I'm doing full coverage for at least an hour a day, and then I go to something else. I'm playing the Monopoly draw game with Tina from Tina's Stitches, Gail from Gail's Golden Needle, and Kim from Stitch and Stuff. And that's what dictates what genre of piece I stitch on that week. And usually I pick out one piece that fits the genre, and then one of my full coverage, and set them up for the week. So, and I've been getting a lot done that way. For those of you that are new here, I have left full-time, sorry, I dropped another piece of paper, full-time employment. I guess you could call it retirement, but it's just moving on to something different, less stressful. So I am getting more crafting done. That being said, I'm also spending a ton of time sorting through our house, getting a list of things to sell, list of things to garage sale, list of things to donate, which is something my husband and I have been wanting to do for quite some time. And I'm just happy that we now have the opportunity to do it. Yeah. Getting rid of things is quite liberating. Just put that out there. All right. That's the end of my stitching content. Sorry, the camera keeps moving. So if that's all you're here for, I'll see you soon. If you want to see the knitting, stand by. I did finish a pair of socks. I don't think I have a picture of them finished, but I do have them. If you were around and you watched, I was making a set of scrappy patriotic socks. I got those socks done and gifted them to my sister while she was here. Yeah, gave them to her while she was here. She likes them. I gave them to her. Yeah, so I have cast on two more socks, 3 socks, 1 pair, and then one of another pair. And I have other things to show you. So let's start first with my finished object, although I still have to weave the ends in. I exchanged a yarn advent for Christmas in July with a friend of mine, Erin, and we knit up, what is the scarf called? I told you I was going to knit one thing up, and then I changed my mind. So I instead knit up what's called, here it is, the Yuletide scarf. Hold while I get it to open. By Kay Jones. I did not use all 24 minis. What I did use is Erin had a full skein in there for my day 25, and I ended up using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of the minis, and I'm going to show you why. I do not care for scarves that wrap around your neck several times. I have a short neck. But let me show you the scarf first, and then I'll explain. Here's the scarf. It is just knit in a tube with that full skein as accent between the colors right here. I've not blocked this or anything yet, but this is what it looks like. And I like the length because I think it will grow even with blocking, but I like where I can just cross it like this and then put my jacket on. And it's double length, so it'll be nice and warm. I could shorten this and wrap it around like this and still be okay. So for me, this is long enough. And I believe that if I wash it, this is going to grow a little bit more. I have to weave the ends in on this a bit. I still have not decided whether I'm going to stitch the ends shut and then block it, or leave them just kind of curled. But yeah, I love it. I love the advent. I loved making the scarf. I would make another one of these for a gift. But I think this is the perfect length for me to wear under a coat without having so much bulk. Be warm without bulk. Okay? So that's my Yuletide scarf. Absolutely loving it. Sorry, I guess I am editing a little bit today. My phone rang and I needed to answer that. But anyway, the Yuletide scarf is what I was talking about. I'm happy with how it turned out. I would make one again. Need to decide whether I'm sewing in the ends or if I'm just going to let them curl. I kind of like the thought of sewing the ends closed and blocking it so it has a clear ridge and it's flat. I'm not really into bulky scarves, but this is nice and warm. If we're here any time of the winter time this winter, that will be nice and warm around my neck. So I'm quite happy about that. Let's see, what else do I want to show you? I also made some progress on a couple of my blankets. Those of you that watch knitting podcasts, the big thing right now has been the dishcloth blanket. So Crazy Sock Lady is working on one. Knit Arla Yarn, Lisa is working on one, and I think Love Sock Wool just finished hers. I've been working on a cotton dishcloth blanket for my son for quite a while. I find the cotton really hard to work with for me. So it doesn't get a ton of progress. I'm also debating making it into a rectangle instead of a square. And adding in some scrappy cotton yarn bits that I have to make it a little more visually interesting and make it probably more likely for me to work on, because I'm finding that the scrappy projects like the scarf I just showed you are the ones that I like the best, which led me to another thought, was that I don't really care about knitting garments. So I have one sweater on the needles right now, and I am going to show it to you. It is The Weekender by Andrea Mowry, and let's show it to you now because it's going to get tabled for a little bit. Number one, we're in summertime, so knitting a sweater is just hard, but it is The Weekender by Andrea Mowry. Let's see if I can show you a picture. I pretty much, but this is it. It's got nice detailing on the shoulders. I'm knitting this out of Knit Picks Woodland Tweed in the colorway, I think it's 61104. It's an Aran weight yarn. Oh, Spotted Owl Heather. It's in a bag made for me by Gail, from Gail's Gold Needle. This is the color of the yarn. This is knit from the bottom up, and I am currently working on, I really should put needle stoppers on here. Of course, I'm in the middle of the row. I'm currently, I stopped working on the front and the back. It's a split hem. It's worked inside out, so this is the inside that you're looking at. And it's hard to show, but I've got a split hem, back, front. The inside is the right side, and you'll see it has this nice detail up the front. And I'm currently working on the front panel. So I have started working on the front panel, so this will create the armhole. Working on that. But what I have found is I don't really enjoy garment knitting. So what happens is I pick it up, I do a few rows, I put it away. And that's just how that's going to be. So the sweater is becoming a long-term project along with my blankets, basically. That's what's happening. Because I have been making progress on my Coziest Memories blanket. Patterns by Kemper Ray. It's a free pattern. It is a mitered square scrappy blanket. I am knitting mine a little differently. I'm holding fingering weight double. I have a whole bag of scrap yarn in here. This is a bag that I made. I am using, can I see what size needle I'm using? Probably not. Size 4. And I am just 3 squares away from completing my 3rd row. So let's start showing it to you. Oh, you've got the back side, front side. And right here, I just added the red square, and I actually have only 2 more squares to finish my 3rd row. And I'm actually enjoying the scrappy things. These things bring me joy. Once I'm done with this third row, I will go back and weave in all my second row ends. And let me move the marker now so that I know kind of where I left off. Showing you. Really enjoying the scrappy projects. I was talking to Gail from Gail's Gold Needle yesterday on a Zoom and basically said, I think I'm going to enjoy my scrappy projects. So once I'm done doing a square in that blanket, I send that yarn over to my hexagon. This one, I'm following a YouTube tutorial by Noble Character Crafts for a join as you go hexagon blanket. And here where we go. I did my first row joins and got kind of the width together, and then I've started to add in colors. And I'm really enjoying these scrappy blankets. They just bring me so much joy. So, yeah, which is why the sweater is going to take, it's going to be a long-term project. It's going to be one of those things where I pull out and put a few rows in now and then and just keep working on it, pegging away at it. But sweaters are not my favorite thing to knit. I don't mind knitting socks when they're straight stockinette stitch because they're small items. But when you get in the straight stockinette, which is the other thing I'm running into with my dishcloth blanket, it's straight garter stitch, nothing else, no color changes, nothing. I get bored. So I find that if it's got color changes or pattern or something to it, I tend to get less bored. So I'm going to have to think about that going forward into my knitting projects. I do have 2 pairs of socks. I have this colorway, which is 3 by the Sea, which will be no shock to any of you here. It's one of my favorites. It's called Fairy Ring. I'm knitting a pair of shorty socks. It's this colorway, very nice speckled, kind of neutral. And let me show you. I have this and this. So I've got the cuff done on one sock. I just started into my 10 rows of the actual color. I did a 1x1 rib sock on my shorties, and the actual first sock I got into the gusset decreases. And this is in a bag that I made for myself. I started a second pair of socks. Sitting here yesterday talking to Gail's Gold Needle. I got some of the cuff done. This is from when I was with the Freckled Whimsy Christmas Yarn of the Month Club. So Freckled Whimsy. This is from July of 2024. It's called Christmas Wrapping Party. Here is the ball all caked up. It comes with a contrast. The darker green that you see here is the contrast color. I don't know that I'm going to use it. It's over there in my thing if I want. And I started the cuff. If I use it, it'll be this dark green. It'll go in the heels and the toes. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like just knitting a sock straight through, but I don't know if I'll do it with these ones. I may start another pair that I just knit straight through, because I have Lightsaber from 3 by the Sea that I think would be cool just knitting a sock straight through without a contrast color. So yeah. That is my knitting. That's it. So that's all I have to show you for today. Thanks for joining me. Again, thanks for the support of my Senegal missions trip. If you want to know more about that, go back to the last couple of videos. I think 2 videos ago was when I talked about it extensively, but in October, I will be going to Senegal with a team, and I will be teaching some women how to sew and doing a medical screening clinic. And all the things. I won't guarantee I'll be here next week. We'll see how it goes. Um, but yeah, if I have more to show you, I might be back. All right. Take care, everybody. Be kind to each other and enjoy your crafting. I'll see you soon.